Part 1. Why start a composting program at your school?
Elementary schools across our region have been working hard to reduce how much garbage like this is ending up in their bins. But the trouble is that the garbage in here, when you actually open up these bags, almost 30% of it should go in the compost.
Starting a school composting program provides opportunities for students to develop responsibility and leadership skills. It also provides teachers with many opportunities to link curriculum with real-world and hands-on learning in areas such as soils, plant and animal life cycles, as well as creating a better understanding of our relationship with the natural world. If school composting is done properly, it can be easy, educational, and fun. Part 2. Composting the basics. To get your school composting program to run well, you're going to need to know the basics about composting. We're here at the Ecology Park and we've come here to talk to Herman, and he's an expert about composting, so maybe he'll be able to tell us how could we compost at school. Life in the composter. Herman, are you home?
Hello?
Whoa, hi Herman!
Oh, hey, hi there. Well, you know, composting is quite simple, actually. What you do is you take your fruits and vegetables, right? And you put them into a composter. Well, all the worms, the bugs, and the millions and millions and billions of bacteria, we turn it into beautiful soil.
Creating the ideal habitat. What to compost? So you just want fruits and vegetables.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And tea bags and coffee grounds, but...
Okay, well, you know, some of the teachers will probably be adding that stuff in too.
Yeah.
What not to compost? Is there anything that you don't like in there?
Well, yes, absolutely. You see, we don't like cheese.
Oh, okay.
We don't like meat.
Oh, okay.
We don't like oils.
Okay.
We don't like butter.
Okay, so you just want fruits and vegetables.
That's right.
Layering your greens and browns.
But you know, it's really important that if you put the fruits and vegetables into a composter, that you always mix it with leaves. You see, fruits and vegetables are the greens, and we call the leaves the browns. And that's really going to help the compost break down. And it also helps to keep the odors down. If you put a layer of leaves, that'll keep the odors down. Us creatures in the compost need air and water. So if your compost is too dry, water it. If it's too wet, give your compost a turn. That way we'll have enough air and water to survive. There's different types of composters, but they do the same thing. If you ever have any other questions, feel free to come back to the Ecology Park.
That's great, we definitely will. And today I'm going to go check out a few schools who actually have started composting and see how they've done it, and because I think they've all tried different methods.
Oh, great.
Okay, have a great day.
You too, bye-bye.
Part 3. Composter options for schools.
We're here at Prince of Wales Public School, and they've chosen to use a wooden 3-bin composting system, and this is a really great system to use for school composting. This particular school had a parent volunteer work with some students to actually build this composter. The nice thing about having a 3-bin system like this is you have spaces for your active compost, which you can label with a go button. So students who are putting your compostables into the bin actually know where they should go. And then you can also have bins that have just for your brown cover material. So you can have a bin just full of leaves that you can actively use to cover the stuff you put in from your school. And then you have an extra bin when things get full. So this bin actually is already all filled up for them, all layered in there, because this compost that they're going to get out of their bins when it's all done is going to go into their community garden plots that they have at their school. We're here at Queen Mary School in Peterborough, and they've chosen to use black plastic composters for their composting program at their school. These composters are often available through your municipality at a subsidized rate, so it's actually quite an inexpensive way to get started composting at your school.
If you still have concerns about composting at your school, here are some examples of schools who have taken on composting in innovative ways to meet their particular school needs.
I'm at at Ridpath Junior Public School today, and they are composting, but they're doing it in a different way. They're using digesters this year. They just installed them at their school, and what a digester does is it buries, it goes right down into the ground. So when they collect their compostables, all those organic materials, the apple cores, banana peels, they put them in their digester, and it's the organisms from the ground, all those microorganisms, your friends, plus the worms, they come in from the ground and change it back into soil. Great way for school to start composting. We're here at Buckhorn Public School today with Jodi Whetung, the principal. Jodi, tell us, what are we looking at here?
You're looking at a bear-proof composter.
Wow, it's totally amazing. I can't imagine a bear being able to get into there. That's solid.
It is solid, and we've had it for 2 years now. We've never had any issues with bears bothering it or coming by or anything.
That's fantastic. How did you come up with this plan?
We had a grant and we looked for bear-proof composters. We found this one. We had a father who was a local person in the community who designed the interior for us from the plans. And then our kids gathered rocks from the field, laid them all out on the front lawn. We had a parent volunteers come for the day, and we spent a whole day out here with classes. And by the time we were done, we had this beautiful composter.
How does this work in your school? Do the kids collect their compost every day, or how does it get out here?
Each classroom has a bucket, and then we have a bigger bucket to empty them into either daily or as we need to. And then once a week, an adult comes out, because the lid's fairly heavy, so an adult comes out, lifts the lid for them, and just dumps the compost in there.
Wow. This lid is pretty heavy here.
It
So
is.
that, no, you're right. No bears could possibly get in here.
No.
Absolutely. And then later on, you're going to be able to take out compost out of the bottom.
We are, and we can use the compost in our community gardens that exist in our fields.
That is fantastic. What a wonderful way to show the whole circle of life happening right here on your school. That's a great learning opportunity for your students here. Plus, it keeps all those organics out of your garbage.
It does.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us.
You're welcome.
Part 4. Tips for collecting your school's compost. The first step is to choose what type of bin you're going to collect your compost in. Most schools use one of 3 options. First, you could use a regular compost bucket with a lid. Another option is to use a regular food-grade bucket with a lid. These can often be picked up from local restaurants for free. Another option is to use old kitty litter buckets. These are ideal because they have a hinged lid. They could be collected from your school community. Make sure you label your bin with what you can compost. To make it easier, some schools put a small piece of paper towel at the bottom of each bin. This helps keep the composting bin cleaner. Some schools strategically place their bins in their hallways. However, for best results, it is better to have one compost bin per classroom, located beside the recycling and garbage bins. Don't forget to put one in the staff room as well. Identify a teacher and dedicated group of students as a class or eco group to collect the compost. Most schools find collecting the compost on Wednesdays and Fridays works well. However, the frequency of collecting depends on the amount of compost that is generated. Additional tips for a smooth running compost collection system. First, ask for permission to use the custodian sink to rinse bins when needed. Also, provide a few sets of reusable rubber gloves to encourage your students to get over the yuck factor. For more information, contact us or check out our composting fact sheets at www.recyclerangers.ca.